Tomorrow's Storm Team 4 forecast tonight on News 4 at 11.
News 4 at 11 begins with breaking news.
And now at 11, a day packed with breaking news is winding down. Former President Donald Trump back in New Jersey tonight following his appearance today as a criminal defendant in a D.C. courthouse. The scene outside that building tonight calmer, much less crowded than it was just a few hours ago. A handful of reporters remain. The protesters have all gone. This was a day for the history books. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Jim Adley.
I'm Sean Yancey. Today, the 45th president of the United States pled not guilty to orchestrating a criminal scheme to stay in power by overturning the 2020 election. The drama unfolded just steps from the U.S. Capitol, where Trump supporters rioted back on January 6th.
As with his two prior criminal arraignments this year, Trump was processed and fingerprinted today. No mugshot was taken. The judge let him go on orders he cannot speak to witnesses in the case. We're working for you tonight with team coverage of this from all angles. News 4's Jackie Benson is talking to officers who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
And Leon Harris will lay out what a Trump trial could look like. But first, NBC's Alice Barr takes us inside the courthouse for today's historic arraignment.
Former President Trump standing before a federal judge today for a 27-minute appearance. The former president entering his own not guilty plea to 4 felony counts on charges he conspired to defraud the government he once led and sought to overturn an election he had lost. Sitting in the front row, roughly 15 feet away, special counsel Jack Smith, who led the investigation and accused the former president of spreading lies about a stolen election that culminated in the deadly January 6 Capitol attack. Before returning home to New Jersey, Mr. Trump was defiant.
When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
The Trump legal team forming a free speech defense.
This is the first time that the First Amendment has been criminalized.
The indictment spells out that former President Trump had a right to speak and even to lie about the election results. But the charges are centered on his alleged actions. Outside the courthouse today, tempers flaring and opinions clashing.
I hope that truth will prevail. I hope that he will be held accountable.
This is not plain fair. He's a front runner for the President of the United States.
A trial date will be critical as the former president's mounting legal troubles are on a collision course with the 2024 presidential campaign.
That was Alice Barr reporting. There were more than just members of the media, of course, and protesters in that crowd outside the courthouse today.
Yes, several police officers who protected the Capitol back on January 6th were inside the courtroom. News 4's Jackie Benson spoke to those officers about what today's arraignment means to them.
Things are winding down here at the courthouse after a momentous day.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
Hundreds of people gathered outside the federal courthouse in D.C. to try to witness or make a statement about an event that went on almost entirely outside of the public eye. The criminal arraignment of a former president of the United States drew both supporters and detractors of Donald Trump. Among those who were able to secure seats in the courthouse, U.S. Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn. He has been vocal about the physical and mental toll suffered by officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th.
It's what I expected. I didn't expect, justice to be served day one, but it's a roadmap. We're following a map to the end goal, which is accountability and justice.
Also present for the arraignment, former U.S. Capitol Police Sergeant Aquilino Gonell. He was injured in his hands, left shoulder, left calf, and right foot during his efforts to protect the Capitol on January 6th. His trauma is compounded, he says, by those who seek to diminish or even deny the events of that day.
I hope that he be treated just like any other citizen of this country. He has the right to appeal. He has the right to the evidence and face his accusers, but that doesn't take away that he did what he did, and he left us fending for ourselves and betraying his oath of office.
In post-arraignment remarks at National Airport, the former president took a parting shot at the District of Columbia, referencing what he says he saw on his motorcade route.
It was also very sad driving through Washington, D.C. and seeing the filth and the decay and all of the broken buildings and walls and the graffiti. This is not the place that I left.
The former president's post-arraignment route to the airport went from the 3rd Street Tunnel to 395 to the GW Parkway. Jackie Benson, News 4.
So what happens next? Another hearing is scheduled for the end of this month.
And there is plenty of speculation as to what that trial and a trial of this magnitude might look like. Let's bring in Leon Harris now for a look at what we know so far. Leon?
Well, yeah, Sean, Jim, this is uncharted territory. There's already a lot of questions swirling about this. Who will be the witnesses, and will this trial happen before or after the election? The next hearing scheduled for August 28th. Mr. Trump does not have to attend that hearing, it turns out, but we could learn more then. One of the big questions is who will be called to testify. Legal analysts say it's likely that former Vice President Mike Pence will get the call. Members of the former president's legal team may also be summoned, like Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. They're believed to be 2 of the 6 unnamed co-conspirators talked about in this indictment. Where will the trial happen? Typically, it would stay at the D.C. federal courthouse, but Trump wants to change the venue. He claims the D.C. jury pool holds a political bias against him and has suggested West Virginia as a possible alternative. Legal experts argue that anyone can get a fair trial anywhere.
In the end, you just need 12 jurors and perhaps 4 alternates, 16 people who say they can be fair. Can you get a fair trial in the District of Columbia? Absolutely. A motion to change venue will be made, and it will be denied.
Another big question, when will this trial take place? Special counsel Jack Smith said that earlier this week that his office is ready to go and would seek a speedy trial. But Trump's legal team wants to delay this for as long as possible, preferably until after next year's presidential election. And lastly, while there would be a massive amount of interest in this case, we might not get to watch any of it. Cameras currently are banned in federal criminal trial courts. Only the Supreme Court would have the power to change that. They also could decide to allow a live audio feed. Trump's previous 2 indictments already have trial dates set. His New York trial is set for January in the alleged hush money case, and his Florida trial is set for next May. That's the case that's charging him with illegally retaining hundreds of classified documents. So there's lots to watch in the weeks and months to come. Jim, Sean, back to you.
All right, Leon, thank you.
This is just the latest in a string of legal setbacks for Donald Trump, and he is still holding strong at the top of the field of Republican presidential candidates.
The former president has long referred to these indictments as political persecution, and his supporters seem to be standing strong.
I don't think we're going to see much of an impact right now on his standing inside the Republican Party. When you announce November of the 2 years before, he announced 2 years before, essentially, the general election in November of 2022. And he did it because he knew these indictments were coming.
Meanwhile, the White House remains tight-lipped about this latest indictment. During today's media flurry in Washington, President Biden was seen riding his bike in Rehoboth Beach. He's vacationing there this week. When asked if he'd speak to reporters today, his response was probably not. Our coverage of this case does not end here. Open the NBC Washington app tonight or log on to NBCWashington.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to today's court appearance, including a fact check of the claims Trump and his co-conspirators have made about this case.
New tonight, no charges will be filed in a shooting involving a Woodbridge father and son. According to the Commonwealth's attorney, an 80-year-old man shot and killed his son in self-defense. It happened back in March. The 2 men argued inside the family home on Fullerton Road. The father, who remains unidentified, said his son Frank Mateo tried to kill him. An investigation report released today found there was no indication that the father started the fight.
A former youth coach was sentenced on sex abuse charges today. Moshe Michael Amel is set to serve 40 years in federal prison, followed by lifetime supervised release for 2 counts of producing child pornography. Amel was a former youth and high school football coach in Calvert County. He also pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sex abuse of a minor. He'll be sentenced tomorrow.
Many D.C. neighborhoods are struggling with rising crime, including communities with a history of being safe and welcoming to tourists. Chinatown is one of those neighborhoods. Business owners and residents there are nervous because of an uptick in thefts and burglaries. News 4's Walter Morris reports that tensions ran high tonight when neighbors confronted city leaders about their crime plan.
Complicated. That's the answer. It's complicated. Well, it's complicated for me.
The complaint that I get is that shelter on 5th Street. How are they being enforced? Are we using facial recognition?
Nobody's being sent out and they're not even taking the calls.
Let this woman finish.
Concerned D.C. residents asking questions and sounding off over a rise in crime in Chinatown. Thursday, Ward 2 council member Brooke Pinto hosting a community forum at the MLK Library to address issues in the area.
I cut this black lady off, and you never let her talk. Let the woman answer your questions.
And tempers flaring towards the end of the 2.5-hour meeting.
I'm glad that we're being heard.
Thais Austin has lived in Chinatown since 2006, and she says she doesn't feel safe in her neighborhood.
I've called 911 4 times since May and have gotten 0 police responses.
Austin's experience all too common for many folks who live and work in Chinatown. Experts say this part of the district was hit especially hard during the pandemic, and less than half of all full-time office workers have returned to the area.
Boy, has it changed in the last 2 years. We have seen more violence on our streets. We have seen more crimes happening downtown.
That's why Pinto organized this panel.
What we believe is that when we work together, we get more impact.
The deputy mayor for public safety, acting police chief, assistant police chief, and U.S. attorney, and other local leaders chiming in on ways they're working to address the issues.
Sharing with the community what each agency's responsibility is to address crime and violence here, but then what we're going to do differently also, because we all have to be focused on solutions.
Police say they have made significant progress, pointing to a spike in arrests in the area since council passed 3 emergency crime bills in July.
I don't think statistics tell the story.
While folks like Austin say there's still a long way to go before she feels safe.
I didn't hear solutions tonight.
In the district, Walter Morris, News 4.
Tonight, we finally now know when those new express lanes will open on I-95 in Northern Virginia. Officials will cut the ribbon on the 10-mile main line between Garrisonville Road and Route 17 in just 2 weeks, August 17th. Now, the lanes will be ready for northbound traffic the morning of the 18th. More access points along the project corridor are expected to open later this year.
Still to come tonight, the weekend is almost here, but the question is, will this beautiful weather last?
That's a big one. All right, Amelia's in the Weather Center for us tonight with the answers.
Yeah, overall beautiful weather today, but I'm still tracking some rain and mist across the D.C. metro area, but temperatures running well below normal today. I'll have that weekend forecast coming up.
I'm Julie Carey in Delaplane, Virginia. A tragic end to deputies pursuing a vehicle that was traveling up to 115 miles an hour. The young man behind the wheel drove into a moving train. His passenger, a young woman who recently graduated from high school, was killed. I'll tell you more about what led up to this terrible crash.
And a developing story tonight, 2 new U.S. Navy sailors accused of spying for China, the secrets they allegedly shared with Beijing.
Today's your day to shine, and it starts with News 4 Today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Showing you what everyone will be talking about.
This is a great story.
Helping you plan.
Be ready for rain.
And making you smile. Wake up with Jumi, Tony, Chuck, Melissa, and Millette on News 4 Today.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get up to $1,000 bonus cash on the 2023 Tucson or Santa Fe, plus 3.29% APR. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Strong communities are built on good health. And at VHC Health, we're building on that idea with a new outpatient pavilion, a dedicated women's health center, and new primary and specialty care practices, all accessible from the palm of your hand. Becoming the region's preferred community health system brings big changes to VHC Health. But one thing that will never change is the unmatched quality of our care. For good health, for our community, for you, for life.
Hollywood producers could be trading the picket lines for the negotiating table tomorrow. Members of SAG-AFTRA were back out rallying today in New York City, as they have been for weeks now. But today, some signs of progress for the screenwriters. The studio negotiator is requesting a meeting tomorrow with the heads of the Writers Guild of America. This could be the first step toward resuming talks. The main contention for both writers and actors, lack of residuals from streaming and the rising threat of artificial intelligence on production. Sean?
Developing tonight, 2 U.S. Navy sailors are under arrest accused of selling military secrets to China. The pair allegedly handed over documents, blueprints, and videos in exchange for thousands of dollars. Leon Harris joins us now from the live desk with the details. Leon?
Well, Sean, both sailors were based in California and had security clearances, and authorities say that both were courted and paid by Chinese intelligence officers. The first indictment was handed down today against Jin Chao Wei. Wei was charged under a rarely used espionage act that makes it a crime to gather or deliver information to aid a foreign government. He's accused of handing over photos and videos of the USS Essex, the ship that he worked on in San Diego, and he did that in exchange for thousands of dollars. Separately, Wenheng Zhao is accused of collecting bribes in exchange for giving sensitive U.S. military photos and videos to a Chinese intelligence officer. Authorities say that he took in about $15,000.
When a soldier or sailor chooses cash over country and hands over national defense information in an ultimate act of betrayal, we have to be ready to act. And that's exactly what we have done here.
Now, what's unclear at this point is if Wei and Zhao were working with the same Chinese intelligence officer. These indictments come amid heightened fears about China-based cyber attacks. Microsoft, in fact, just reported that Chinese-based hackers broke into the email accounts of State and Commerce Department employees, including the Secretary of Commerce. Back to you in the studio.
Wow.
John?
All right, Leon, thank you. A Northern Virginia family is devastated and angry. Their loved one died when her boyfriend drove a car into a moving train early yesterday morning. According to the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office, the driver sped away from deputies going 115 miles per hour. Later, they say he crashed into the train on Route 17 in Delaplane. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey spoke with the victim's family about their loss.
Hugs and tears and deep sadness for the family of 18-year-old Hayden Smallwood. Just a few months ago, there was celebration as she graduated from Clark County High School, and she'd just been accepted to Liberty University with a plan to study nursing.
She was so proud of herself.
These are pictures of the crash that claimed her life early Wednesday morning. Her boyfriend, Jeremiah Greenfield, behind the wheel when he drove the car right into a moving train. The Fauquier Sheriff's Office says the trouble began when a deputy clocked the Honda going nearly 100 in a 55 zone and began a pursuit. Even though this warning signal was flashing and cars were stopped at the crossing, investigators say Greenfield crossed the center line, drove around the cars, and struck the train. Greenfield and a backseat passenger were injured. Hayden died at the hospital.
Thinking about the terror, like she had to be terrified. I just can't imagine what she was feeling and what she was thinking.
State police discovering after the crash the car had been stolen. His family says Greenfield told Hayden he'd paid cash for it.
I'm so mad. Because it was intentional. He intentionally took my baby from me.
I'd like to see him get justice for it. You know what I mean? She didn't deserve this. He could have just pulled over. Let her out.
This family also raising questions about another incident 3 days earlier. They say court records show Greenfield was pulled over in Clark County driving the same car without a license. They want to know why he was given a summons and not arrested. Reporting for News 4, I'm Julie Carey.
Fauquier County officials say deputies had already called off that pursuit twice and had lost sight of the speeding car before it reached the railroad crossing. Virginia State Police are now handling this investigation. No charges have yet been filed.
Well, as we say, nothing good lasts forever, right? The last few nights were so nice. Many folks slept with their windows open. Tonight, as you may be able to tell from this live picture outside our studios, it's pretty thick out there, a little drizzly, a little chillier too.
Yeah.
We say ugly on the screen there. I don't know if I'd go ugly.
Yeah. We had soup tonight for dinner. I was like,
soup
night. It was a soup night.
It was cool out there.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I stepped outside and was like, oh,
yeah,
it's cool out here.
Hints of fall kind of working their way into the area at times now. Our high temperature today, only 79 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, our average high is 89, so we're running well below normal. So you take those cooler temperatures, the fact football was on television
That's
tonight.
right.
It felt just like fall. Yeah, it did. Now here are the weather headlines out there these next few days. So overnight tonight, drizzle's going to continue in spots. Right now it's mainly around the D.C. metro area into parts of southern Maryland. I do see this overnight shifting out of the metro, but staying in southern Maryland, drizzle and light rain. Tomorrow, we're looking at clouds and rain east of I-95. So again, areas like southern Maryland, potentially up into Prince George's, Anne Arundel counties. West of I-95, we're looking at warmer temperatures, more sunshine here along the I-95 corridor. We're kind of right in the middle. Plenty of clouds, mostly dry with temperatures very similar, highs near 80 degrees. The weekend is looking dry, but it's looking hot and humid out there both Saturday and Sunday. Here's a close-up shot of the metro area. You can see drizzle, light rain all around the Beltway right now. Look at our area. This rain continues up into parts of Montgomery, Loudoun counties, out around Dulles, seeing rain into Prince George's County, down through Charles County. Again, I think that this area of rain shifts off to the east, but if you're east of I-95, you could be dealing with rain and drizzle at times almost throughout the entire day tomorrow. That's going to help to keep your temperatures a lot cooler than areas that are going to be dry with more sunshine. So here's future weather. I'm starting you off 7 a.m. Notice the temperatures starting off in the 60s, maybe even some 50s in the most rural locations. Plenty of clouds across most of the area, including the D.C. metro area, but maybe some rain already into parts of southern Maryland, back into areas like Hagerstown and Martinsburg, seeing more sunshine during the early morning hours. By the mid-morning hours, well, yeah, not much has changed. We're seeing showers east of I-95, more sun back to the west. And then look at how temperatures react during the afternoon hours. We hit 80 here in Washington, but 85 in Frederick and Hagerstown, 82 in Leesburg, and then temperatures only staying in the 70s into areas like La Plata out at the Patuxent River and up around Annapolis. Your Friday evening, 6 o'clock, mostly dry for most of us, but I can't rule out some isolated showers and thunderstorms forming back around the Blue Ridge and the I-81 corridor. 9 p.m. tomorrow night. You're enjoying your Friday night, heading on into the weekend. Temperatures are in the 70s, so really comfortable out there. A high on Saturday of 88, so we're much warmer. Sunday, more sun and a high temperature of 90. Chance for some more showers and thunderstorms out there on Monday during the afternoon and evening hours with a high of 93. And then it's looking dry Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Quickly want to mention next weekend right now, there's the chance for some storms on Saturday. We're headed to break and we'll be back in just a moment.
This is how we do the summertime, summertime. This is how we do the summertime, summertime. This is how we do the summertime.
We are all connected.
Discover Echo from Cirque du Soleil, September 6th to October 22nd, under the Big Top at Tyson's 2. Tickets at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
The world is yours to create.
Echo thanks its official partner, Air Canada.
Summer is the best time to remodel your kitchen or bath because you can cook outside on the grill, leave windows open to air out paint fumes, or better yet, take a vacation while the work is done. So call Cabinet Discounters today for a free consultation with an experienced designer. Find our 7 showroom locations and photos of actual projects at CabinetDiscounters.com.
Check it out at CabinetDiscounters.com.
Cabinet Discounters, great quality, great price.
Every business deserves a great deal, That's why Comcast Business is launching the Mobile Made Free event. With our business internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network, and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for an entire year. It's the Mobile Made Free event happening now.
Get started for just $49 a month. Plus, ask how to get 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
When I first met you, you had stated, listen, this is what's going on with my business, and where do I go?
And now look at where we are. I have more freedom, I have more time, and it's like, I can breathe again.
Waiting for the right time to buy a hardwood floor? Well, check this out. 1 room of beautiful hardwood flooring, completely installed for just $999. That's right. And this isn't just any hardwood. This is genuine Mohawk hardwood, the most trusted name in flooring. Call National Floors Direct at 888-400-FLOOR and get an entire room of Mohawk hardwood installed the next day for just $999. And no interest for 1 year. Transform your home for just $999. We bring the store to your door.
I get really emotional when I think about where I was. Most people don't survive blood clots on their lungs and on their heart. The last thing I heard was reroute to GW Hospital. On the day that I came in and they treated me, I was the sickest person in the hospital. I was put on the ECMO machine. It saved my life. Without the care I received at GW Hospital, I wouldn't be here today.
For life's defining moments, the George Washington University Hospital, defining medicine.
We are all connected.
Discover Echo from Cirque du Soleil, September 6th to October 22nd under the Big Top at Tyson's 2. Tickets at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
The world is yours to create.
Echo thanks its official partner, Air Canada.
We know what's important in your neighborhood because it's important to us too.
This is the Xfinity Sports Desk.
Right now, a hometown favorite is back on the court.
Yeah, been a wet night at the City Open. Francis Tiafoe, the tennis superstar from Hyattsville, playing now in the City Open against China's Shang Jingchang.
They got a late start tonight because of the rain. We're going to have a complete wrap-up tomorrow morning on News 4 Today starting at 4 a.m.
Let's talk some football now. The Washington Commanders now dealing with injuries in the preseason. Defensive lineman David Bada tore his tricep and has been placed on the injured list now.
Ouch. Head coach Ron Rivera made it clear that while he loves the renewed enthusiasm from Washington fans, his guys have to get to work.
There's still a task at hand. Just because things have changed, we still have to do our job. We got to continue to keep our focus on preparation and getting ready for the season.
Yes, indeed. The Commanders open their preseason on the road in Cleveland 1 week from tomorrow night. We'll be right back.
Tonight, Jimmy has Super Bowl champ Travis Kelce.
You gotta fight for your right to party.
Plus, Magnum PI's Jay Hernandez and Perm Week.
Your roof gets hit with water, a lot of water, about 55,000 gallons per year. That's why at Schenko, we provide the best warranty in the industry. Visit GoSchenko.com and save $1,000 on your new roof.
The biggest show is back. Circus Vasquez, bringing you trapeze artists, jugglers, acrobats, now at Potomac Mills, starting this Friday. Get your discounted tickets at CircusVasquez.com.
Is your house less than perfect? I'm Dan from Market Pro Home Buyers, and we want to buy your home. Don't make repairs, don't pay commissions, and don't wait another day. We'll get you the cash you need. No agent fees, no closing costs. We'll even help you pack and move for free. For a no-obligation offer, call 301-683-SELL. That's 301-683-7355. Or visit MarketProHomeBuyers.com. We buy houses as is, on your schedule. Call today.
I had in mind what I was willing to accept for my trade-in, and Fitzgerald, without going back and forth, actually gave me more than what I was willing to accept for my vehicle.
That's the Fitz way. There's just no better way to go.
JP Morgan Wealth Management knows it's easy to get lost in investment research. Get help with JP Morgan Personal Advisors.
Hey, David, ready to get started?
Work with advisors who create a plan with you and help you find the right investments.
So great getting to know you. Let's take a look at your new investment plan.
Okay, great.
This should have you moving in the right direction.
Thanks, Jen.
Get ongoing advice and manage your investments in the Chase mobile app.
A strong, vibrant community depends on great health care in order to strengthen and grow. The VHC Health Foundation fosters that growth through their support for the programs at VHC Health. But there's more to great health care than great doctors, nurses, and advanced technology. There's another major component, and that's you. Your generosity can ensure health care for everyone in our community. Learn more at vhcfoundation.com.
It's back. NBC4 and Telemundo 44 want you to help clear the shelters.
I had always wanted to adopt a dog.
You will never get this kind of love any other way.
The adoption process is very simple.
So many pets out there that need a good home.
Be like us and clear the shelters and find your new best friend.
All month long, help NBC4 and Telemundo 44 clear the shelters. Adopt and donate today. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers.
Your roof should stay put. That's why we use an average of 8,000 nails to keep things in place. At Schenko, we care about every single one. Visit GoSchenko.com and save $1,000 on your new roof.
All right, this famous baby grand piano was just one of the pieces of rock and roll history on the auction block today.
Sotheby's London has put more than 1,000 items belonging to the late Queen frontman Freddie Mercury. Everything from his eye-catching clothing to handwritten autographed lyrics. Even a gold record for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mercury's collection remained undisturbed in his West London mansion for 30 years since his death in 1991. It will now be on public display before it goes up for auction.
All right, the stage is almost set for Beyonce's takeover at FedEx Field.
Yeah,
wow.
Chopper 4 was over the action today as crews were setting up for the concerts. Queen Bee will be performing Saturday and Sunday to sold-out crowds.
Need to know the best way to get there, where you're going. If you're headed to the one of Beyonce's shows this weekend, tune in tomorrow morning for News 4 Today. We'll have everything you need to know at 4 a.m. One hint, to the left and to the left.
Everything I own in the box. All right, good night, everybody.
Sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
We are all connected.
Discover Echo from Cirque du Soleil, September 6th to October 22nd under the Big Top at Tyson's 2. Tickets at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
The world is yours to create.
Echo thanks its official partner, Air Canada.
Get fast, reliable Xfinity Internet and you can add a whole new way to watch the entertainment you love. Introducing Now TV, the best value in live TV and streaming, just $20 a month. Get over 40 live channels. Plus, watch movies, shows, and live sports with Peacock Premium included at no extra cost. Now. Start watching in minutes, all with no annual contract. Get Xfinity Internet for $25 per month for 12 months and add Now TV with Peacock Premium included for just $20 a month.
You know that feeling? Carefree excitement? Sun on your skin? Fun on a whim? Getaways fall into place. Cares fall by the wayside. Time slows down in buzzing downtowns. Summer's in the air in Chester County's Brandywine Valley, nestled in the countryside of Philadelphia. Take it in with a getaway and receive untimed tickets to Longwood Gardens with your stay at brandywinevalley.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. I needed a solution. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. The solution they provided is a solution that I still use today, and that's 5 years after the fact.
NBC4 is getting you ready for school with the help of Apple Federal Credit Union.
Drop off new backpacks and school supplies at any of our Northern Virginia branches now through August 31st.
You can also bring supplies to the Kingstown branch on August 16th, where we will be collecting on-site from 6 a.m. to noon. Find a list of participating branches or make an online donation at NBCWashington.com/community. NBC4 and Apple Federal Credit Union, getting you ready for school.
We are all connected.
Discover Echo from Cirque du Soleil, September 6th to October 22nd under the Big Top at Tyson's 2. Tickets at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
The world is yours to create.
Echo thanks its official partner, Air Canada.
Time and temperature from Belfort Furniture.